Welcome to Sports Car Dad. What the fuck are you talking about? In this video, we're listening to Dustin rant on about the debate being over and that the problem with sports cards is that majority of the products owned by the breakers and the collectors don't have any access to it, and they're getting all this free marketing and it's just ruined. It's just all bad. Let's listen to Dustin talk about this.
How much of the total print run do you think is broken open by breakers of that new product? And I put 80% or more, 60%, 40%, or 20% or less. And I was surprised to see that really, if you look at the bulk of the...
You were surprised to see it. Guys, think of the question. How much of a new product do you think is opened by breakers? I'm going to take you back 10 years. 10 years, okay? I'm going to bet that breakers were still opening a majority of the product back then. Just because of the whole point of what they are. They're able to get a product out to more people, right? Leighton Sports Card was able to serve more customers than Joe's local card store in XYZ, Virginia. Okay, that's part of the challenge about this. And also, you're looking at a product that's kind of like it spoils. It has a decay rate. It's fresh, and when it's fresh, you want it, and people want it. There's a hype around it, and player performance, and rookie release, and all that stuff. That's what drives this market. So having that ability to get it out is important. Let me also say this too. It's just important for the collector who doesn't want to buy a new product, who doesn't want to be in a break, who doesn't want to open anything. They want that excitement because that's what gets those products in the market. Even if they're not collecting, it puts money in the market, liquidity in the markets. Even a vintage guy, he benefits from modern releases and them being consumed quickly, rapidly, and also having liquidity in that. Now let's listen to Dustin talk about his next point. Why breaking? Why are we using breaking for this?
Top dozen breakers that really do well in the space. Maybe it's top 20 or something like that. Obviously, there's going to be consolidation, though.
Consolidation.
I think it's going to, kind of move more to the top, where those companies will...
I'm interested in this. He even makes this comment. First of all, Dustin knows nothing about breaking. He talks to like a few people online, but he's not a breaking person. I've been involved in breaking for 10 years. I've seen people come and go, breakers come and go. It will continue to happen that way. I don't think there'll be consolidation because anybody can be a breaker. Anybody can really go get some product and open a break. And you don't have to be a breaker for long. Just like anybody can be a hobbyist, anybody can be a collector, anybody can be a grader, anybody can be a subber, right? That's the consolidation. No, consolidation happens around allocation. Allocation gets consolidated. You'll see some of that going on.
Will continue to grow, the ones that really have good talent and that do a good job and kind of build audience. And that's...
I'm even going to be critical of this. The ones that have good talent, as a person who participates in breaking and is a part owner of a breaking company, the talent really isn't what people are chasing. It's product accessibility, price, and some type of community value in that.
Sort of a thing. And I know from a manufacturing standpoint, it makes sense that they would lean into breaking. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't the manufacturer lean into breaking? It's easy to sell the product, to move the product. The manufacturer just wants to move the product. That's the main thing. Fanatics Topps is a little bit of an interesting one because they're not just a manufacturer. They're also dabbling in the secondary market stuff. They own companies in different spaces. So Fanatics is kind of an interesting one to where, yes, I understand why they want to lean into breaking, but they have other interests that it might not be so great too far into the breaking gambling side and not take care of your direct...
See, I would say different. Before Fanatics came around, Panini was very, very pro-breaker. I think they had the least stringent requirements on having a physical shop. Upper Deck, you have to have a physical shop to even have access to the product. And if you're going to break it, you got to break it on that shop. Panini was very breaker friendly. Fanatics has now become very, very breaker friendly moving forward. Because again, I think they realize they're not leveraging those distributors in the middle who are sitting on the product so that they can sell it to the breaker. The breakers have it. They're able to get to the breaker. Breaker's able to get to the consumer. And again, I'll say this too, guys. If you're mad about the prices of product, it's the consumers of the breaks, not the breakers. The breakers put a product up as a guy who prices breaks. I put them up. If they don't sell, I reduce the price. I don't sit there forever. I got to move the product, right? So price drives the cost, and buyers pay what they feel is market cost.
Collectors, customers. And when Jeff was talking about this, kind of the rise in prices, why it's happening, he didn't mention breaking at all. And this is clearly the most obvious reason why new product is more expensive. It's
not breakers. What I could argue is that the distribution model of breaking has made it more accessible to more people to compete for a limited resource, which is driving up the cost of that product. Let me repeat that. Breaking makes the market more accessible to a greater demand. The supply is finite, and because of that, that drives the cost up. So that I can see the system is what's driving the cost, the people buying it. But let's not blame the breaker himself for this. The next comment that Dustin's going to talk about is how he feels like we need some type of collectors. Listen to this. I don't know if we're going to get this. Here we go.
Sell it out in 5 seconds, not sell out 1% of the print run direct to the public. Take 25% of the print run and sit it there and just say, all right, public, you've got 72 hours. The collectors out there that can't buy it at regular cost and then they have to go on the secondary market or whatever, here is your opportunity to get it. And maybe even offer kind of a Black Friday discount. Hey, maybe it's kind of like a Cyber Monday, Black Friday type discount thing where on release day, you get a discounted price. Maybe it's not the allocated price that the card shop owner gets, but maybe it's somewhere in between where it's not full retail, but it's a little bit of a markdown for collectors to come in and you've got it set at, $2 maximum and one mailing address.
Before he goes on this, what he's saying here is take a percentage of the print run and put it aside for the general public. Topps has actually done a very good job with that. I mean, in fact, again, for somebody who's actually been participating in the hobby for the last 5-6 years with Topps, and I do mean that. I was with Panini a lot more. I did not use Topps. Topps has made it much easier for me to get product. Before, it's like it was available on the website for a minute, and then if you didn't get it there, you had to go distribution. Now they have the EQL systems. They have an email that comes out and it warns you, hey, that drops tomorrow at 12 o'clock, so you can get ready, you can get your credit card information ready. In fact, they have the Montgomery Club membership, which they've had for several years now. I've been a member of that as well, where they limit you, but you get access to some of the greatest products. You get access to Sapphire 1 or 2 boxes, and it gets shipped to your address, one address per household. But listen to this.
So you can kind of control this thing, because I know what will happen is that'll get gamed as well, where you've got 5 different accounts with 5 different mailing addresses that are buying the 2 boxes, the 2-box minimum. That's fine, but at least offer an opportunity where you've got enough of the print run there, and maybe it's a 48-hour, 72-hour thing, but you just sit it there and you let the average Joe collector buy a couple of boxes at a slight discount than what they would receive in the card store, and that's kind of like, hey, look, here's 48 hours to get this at a 15.
I love this idea. Not. Here, it sounds great. They had this thing called First Off the Line. First Off the Line was actually designed to give the consumer the product at the suggested retail price. That was why First Off the Line was designed. It was not to get you access to some special, refractors or extra autographs. First Off the Line was designed because back in, I think it was 2017, a hobby box in the secondary market, because the distributors had their allocation, they could inflate the prices. Blow Up would do this all the time. A box would be $250 and they'd sell it out. And they'd go $300, they'd sell it out. They were controlling the price that way. Well, First Off the Line came around and said, look, we're gonna make so much product available for a certain window of time, and it's gonna be at the suggested retail price of $120 a box. That was what Prism used to cost. Suggested retail price, $120, and that's suggested retail price in 2017. That would sell out fast. That would crash the server. People get mad. But if you got it, you were super excited because you got it at a great price. Some of us enjoyed that. We ripped it at that suggested retail price. You know what most people did? Most people sold it. Most people resold it. And this is my point, Dustin. What you don't understand, if you take that 25%, make it for the general public, and we go out and we can buy it, a little bit more than the local card store, but a little bit less than this, that's great. People are going to do that. And as soon as that's over, they're going to resell it. That's what's going to fuel the breakers. And you're going to be complaining, all these breakers are out there. Well, you know why? Because people want to pay for their hobby. And they know if I can get 1 box of Sapphire, for example, I can get the Sapphire F1, and I'm not an F1 fan, but I got one in my Montgomery Club. I'm going to go and sell that to my friend Bob, who wants it, and he's going to go sell it to a breaker, and they're making a lot of money off it. And I don't care, because I took my profit, and I was able to go buy a single, or buy a box I wanted to, or really what I want to do, I bought into a break. That's the reality. That's the reality of what's going on in this. So your idea of, we're going to put it aside, you know what you sound like? You sound like the outgoing administration building a communist program. We're going to put so much bread over here. There'll be free bread for everybody. And if you try to charge extra for the bread, shame on you. Guys, let's go to the last comment here that Dusty has. And he's talking about complaining about marketing and breakers again.
To breaking, it's another marketing arm for them. I mean, from a business standpoint, it's kind of beautiful. You're able to sell the product off of volume of it to a breaker, and then it's all over social media. It's creating hype. It's creating all sorts of excitement. There's hits that are being advertised, whether it be on Whatnot or Fanatics Live or YouTube or wherever it is. This is all part of the excitement machine or the hype machine, whatever you want to call it. And manufacturers have got to love that, because whoever that breaker is, whoever the person is opening up the box, that is pure marketing for them that they didn't have to spend to do it. They didn't have to spend those advertising dollars.
It's because the camera's on, Dustin. It's because the camera's on. I don't want to get angry here. I just want to point out Dustin is not a very, very, I don't want to say intelligent. He does not research. He does not want to listen to other people. He's very closed-minded. But think about this, Dustin. All the whining you're doing about how, the breakers get all this free marketing, and then you see the hits over here and hits over there, and everybody wants to do it. It's because the cameras are on. Just like, you know why they have that show on Sundays, Home Funniest Videos? It's because the cameras are on, and they caught funny shit. So when you have an industry which is built on this thing called trust on the internet, and use cameras to verify the opening of the box, verify the cards come out, verify whatever it might be, the sorting is often put on a camera sometimes, right? All that stuff done on a camera, you have opportunity to catch all of the wonder and drama and excitement of the hobby. And here's something that's really cool about that. If you've ever actually fucking participated, Dustin, and opened a box and been thumbing through some cards, and when you see that special shiny card in the back and you're like, oh, and then you see the little rookie logo in the corner, and you see the team that you might, be hitting some big card, you haven't been there. If you haven't been there, you don't understand that. But that feeling is fun. It's fun. Sharing that feeling with other people is fun. They like to see it. And here's the best part. Some of them are rooting for you. Some of them are rooting against you. But that's human nature. And that, sir, is why we love breaking. It's pulling that together, right? It's that community coming together, sharing the risk, seeing what's behind there. What if? Is the Willy Wonka card there? I was in the break. I watched. I saw. And I want you to see. I want you to share. It's not free marketing that the manufacturers are using. It's fortunate. It's because the cameras are on. And again, it's what fuels this hobby. Breaking is the future. Dustin, you're fake. You're counterfeit.